How you guys doing? Coach LaQuentin Black here, head football coach here at Missouri Valley College. We thank you guys for getting a chance to be able to join us and stuff today. Within this presentation, I want to give you guys an opportunity just to get a chance to get an in-depth feel, on who we are, from a culture standpoint, and just how we go about business on a daily basis with hopes that we get a chance to be able to get you guys involved in what we got going on here at Missouri Valley within our football program. So I'm gonna dive right into it. Okay. Share my screen with you guys and give you guys a chance to be able to see what we got going on. All right. So within our program, right out of the gate, man, you hear our guys talk about ADT right out of the gate. So we're big on being accountable and being dependable and being tough. And I'll elaborate on that as we go through this presentation. Okay. So a little bit about me. I'm originally from Oklahoma. I am the oldest of six children. I have a loving wife named Maritza, and we have three boys, Nico, Emiliano, and Mateo. I always mess about, with this about all the time with guys, man. If you guys, you want to do any babysitting, let me know. We'll hire you right now. No, I'm kidding, man. Love our kids to death, man. They keep us on our toes, and it's awesome to be able to see them, interact with the players on a daily basis, man. They definitely get a kick out of it. So a true man of faith and someone who is driven to help young people succeed on a daily basis, for sure. All right, what I represent, the men upstairs, my family, my university, and the young men I get a chance to get encountered with on a daily basis within our program. A little bit about how I operate. Tireless worker, very detail oriented, from an organizational standpoint, and hopes that reflects to our staff and to our players. Okay, a little bit about my playing history. So again, like I said, originally from Oklahoma, small school, Davis High School. Committed to play, at the University of Northern Iowa right out of high school, but I was not a qualifier. So I ended up being placed, at a junior college. So I was placed at North Iowa Area Community College, in Mason City, Iowa. From there, got a chance to kind of reestablish myself and earn myself an opportunity at the University of Tulsa in Oklahoma. Um, got back to Tulsa, man, and at that point in time, that's when I can say that I kind of felt like I arrived a little bit, and got around some of the guys that were doing things for the wrong reasons. And, I ended up taking something that didn't belong to me, and got myself dismissed from the football program right when we got done with the Hawaii Bowl. And, in that particular moment, it was something that was very humbling for me because I had to go back home and face my community. And I'm always out front with that, So as I'm at home, I remember I was working at a Subway, and nothing against anyone working at a Subway, but I knew that wasn't for me at that moment in time. And I'm like, how did I get to this point? I remember going to the back of that Subway. It was a big lunch rush, man, and I ended up breaking down crying, trying to just figure it out. And I ended up getting a phone call that same day, and it was from a coach here, at Missouri Valley College. And he said, hey, Q, man, we heard about your situation. And, we know that, that wasn't the person that you are with what you've done. We want to give you a second chance to be able to come here at Missouri Valley and play. You know, at that particular moment, I knew that I needed to be able to change a lot of things about my life. First and foremost, I told myself right then, I wanted to be able to graduate. I wanted to be able to help my team win a championship, and I wanted to be an All-American and All-Conference guy. And I got a chance to be able to accomplish all those things here in Missouri Valley. So from there, right, why do I say that? I don't sit there and try to be able to put my chest out to be able to say that at that particular situation. It's more so because I tell guys all the time, take advantage of the opportunity you have the first time, right? Because you may not get that second chance. Obviously, I've been blessed to be able to go around, and get a chance to coach at some great places, to be able to have the good Lord circling back around here to be able to lead our football program here in Missouri Valley College now. And I'm humbled by it, right? So my philosophy, okay, simple first, simple. Teacher first, develop you second, then love you, respect you, and be a mentor source to you, right? I try to be able to put that love and respect word towards the end. Reason being because, as coaches, we throw that love word around so much and we forget what it actually truly means. And for me, it's time, right? We're going to spend time with you. Our coaches are going to spend time with you. And that's a big thing as far as for me. Okay. Again, teach you first, develop you second, then love you and respect you and be a mentor source to you. All right. And then lastly, the goal is to help you be better than you were when you first stepped on campus. That's the big thing. Okay. Now, the next thing we asked our guys is when they sit down with us one-on-one, we want to be able to know, who are you? Who do you do it for? Right? What are your goals academically and athletically? All right. And then what will it take to get to that point? We want you to be able to write it down. All right. And then I want you to be able to put that emergency contact down. Right. I want to be able to know mom's name, her number, dad, all of that. Right. Because at the end of the day, when you sign and date that, now we got a little bit of self-accountability, because when we go midway through the semester and I look at you and say, hey, Johnny, right, you told me you wanted to be able to have a 3.5 GPA. You said you want to be an all-conference player and all those things, right? But all of a sudden now you're not showing up in class on time, right? You're not handling your business in the community, all those different type of things, right? You're not spending time with your position coach, okay? It goes back to now I got to say, okay, where's the disconnect? Okay, so we got to be able to meet 50-50, right, to be able to get you over that hump. So we kind of have some self-accountability and stuff there as well as with the coaches. Okay, so we make sure guys do that right out of the gate when they meet with us one-on-one, okay, before we even start the semester. All right, next, our coaching beliefs, faith, family, football. It sounds cliche all the time, but we really are about that and stuff here. All right. A lot of our guys, FCA, they started right out of the gate the semester as far as with us. All right. Being able to make sure they get implemented with our football program. Okay. We got the bridge ministry on campus. A lot of our kids are involved with that. Okay. It's a situation to where, our kids, they have an opportunity to be involved, from a faith standpoint right out of the gate. Okay. Family. Let's talk about that. Okay. So Coach Calloway, our defensive coordinator, right? He gave me my first opportunity as a graduate assistant at Central Methodist University. What a blessing it was for him to be able to leave a Division I institution, right, and hire him away from there to get him to be able to come here now and be the defensive coordinator for our football program, right? That's family to me. Okay, Coach Goulet, our offensive coordinator, right? Played for myself and Coach Calloway at Central Methodist University, right? Got a chance to be able to watch him groom as a young coach and has done a tremendous job. Unbelievable person, cares, right? Now he come back to be the offensive coordinator for our football program and offensive line coach. All right, Coach Ballard, our co-OC and wide receivers coach. All right, we played together on the championship team here at Missouri Valley College back in 2012. Super good person, right? Coordinator experience, but about the right things and cares about people. All right, Coach Mays, all right, our assistant defensive back coach, played for us as too as well. Okay, awesome person, right? About the right things, played the defensive back position at a high level. Got a chance to be able to bring him back home. All right, Coach Wright was with me at the University of Northern Iowa. Circle back around, a tremendous young coach, right? Brought him back as well to be able to come with me. Knew I wanted to be able to have him on staff. And then Coach Wilson, right? Coach Purdom, Coach Suber, Coach Jackson were all holdovers from the previous staff, right? Our kids gravitated towards them. That was something that I paid attention to right out of the gate, and I knew I wanted to be able to keep those guys around. Coach Purdom was a head coach here at Missouri Valley too as well. Won a lot of ball games, understands it, gets it. All right, had to be able to keep that guy around. All right, super good person. But all of those guys are about the right things, and it's really family oriented here right out of the gate. Okay, so faith, family, football. Right, we are big on how you do anything is how you do everything. How we go about our business on a daily basis, that's how we start and that's how we finish. Right, so we speak and we preach it, and it's about action with our guys and with our coaches right out of the gate. Okay, there will be coach-player relationships. Right, relationships are big. All right, we're a relationship-driven coaching staff, right? We're going to spend time with you, like I said, all right? And then there will be an academic responsibility, as I will dive into, okay? Our program focus is to create a positive culture that will promote accountability and dependability that will give our student athletes the opportunity to achieve at the highest level in the classroom, on the field, and in the community, all right? There's no gray area in that, okay? Now, ADT, as I spoke at the beginning, right? Accountable, dependable, tough. What does that mean? Let me elaborate. Okay, accountable. Okay, can we count on you to make sure you're in class on time? Right? Can we count on you to make sure you're in study hall on time? Right? Because if we can count on you to do those things, we can count on you to be able to step the correct way on the inside zone. Okay, dependable. Right? Can we depend on you to put the right things in your body? Can we depend on you to do the right things and stuff in the community? Because if we can depend on you to do those things, we can depend on you to be able to reroute somebody in cover two. Right? All those different type of things go into play. And then the tough part, right? Everyone thinks it's from the physical standpoint. No, we push it more from the mental standpoint, right? Are you mentally tough to be able to handle 6 a.m. stuff when we have workouts? Are you mentally tough to be able to handle that anatomy exam and be able to study for it all week, right? All those things go hand in hand, right? So we make sure it's real life situations as well as it transitions to the football field, all right? Accountable, dependable, tough. That's how we go about it, all right? Next, our Vikings Reserve program. Okay, within this program, all right, it's really good for our freshmen when they first come in, right? Because let's say right out of the gate, okay, maybe you may not cut it to be able to make the 3 or 4 deep or whatever it may be as far as from the travel roster standpoint. All right, with that, we get a chance to be able to let you still play a 5 or 6 game season, sometimes more, all right, with teams around the conference and sometimes with teams outside the conference, right? But give you a chance to still get evaluated. You can still be able to develop all those different type of things to get a chance to be able to get progressed to the travel roster if you haven't cut it right out of the gate. And some freshmen do, all right? Some of them ready to go. Some of them still need a little bit more development, and that's okay, all right? But we still give you opportunity to be able to do so. And Coach Purdom leads that program and does a tremendous job, all right? Because that redshirt thing is kind of thrown out the window a little bit with everything that's going on. And we still want to give our kids an opportunity to get a chance to be able to develop, right? And get a chance to be able to excel. Now, our program how method. right? We want to develop and prepare our student athletes to graduate, right? Number one, and for future academic, athletic, and employment opportunities, okay? We will be the most disciplined, most physical, most conditioned, and hardest working team in the country, right? We're already on track to be able to do so. We got to continue to be able to apply the pressure each and every day, all right? We're doing what we need to be able to do, all right? We will maintain a standard of excellence on campus and in the community, all right? Our kids know there's no gray area when it comes to that, all right? The we before me. We speak it and we preach it all the time, right? Can you get out of yourself, right, and get into what the team is doing, all right? And keep the we before me in everything that we do, all right? With your actions, with your decision making, okay? And then having a 1-0 brotherhood mentality. Can you constantly make a daily deposit, right? Right? As you guys are listening, I want you to be able to raise your hand truly and ask yourself, all right, do I like someone taking money out of my bank account every single day, all right? Because if anyone likes money being taken out of their bank account every day, all right, probably crazy. All right. So think about it like this. I tell our kids all the time, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do on a daily basis, you're constantly draining our team bank account because you don't want to be able to do what you're supposed to do for the team. Right. So that's what daily deposits and stuff are. And that's what that means as far as for us as a football program. Right. But at the end of the day, can you be accountable? Can you be dependable? And can you be tough? Right. Now, the daily deposits for us, right? Number one, academics, right? Academics. Am I handling my business from an academic standpoint? Number two, am I being present, right? What does being present mean? For us, we talk about it all the time. Being present as far as in class and in meetings, right? Don't just go to class, be present. Am I asking the right questions, right? Am I making sure that that professor knows that I'm locked in and I'm engaged in what's going on, as well as my coach, right? And then my off the field habits. Again, like I spoke, what am I putting in my body, right? Who am I surrounding myself with off the field? Okay. And then lastly, my work in the weight room and on the field. We're going to get that, right? We'll get that out of you. That's why it's last for us in our football program. Okay. Now, our weekly itinerary. So our kids, all right, within our group message system from our team chat, right? Our kids get a weekly itinerary. So our weekly itinerary is sent to them on Sunday evening. All right. So in that itinerary, they know exactly what the calf schedule is, right? They know exactly when their weight session is, all right, when they have study hall, all those different type of things. That way there's no excuse, right, on where you need to be and how you need to go about your business and get things done. All right, so our kids know. I mean, you scrolling on Snapchat, Instagram, all the different type of stuff all day, every day. So why not be able to have it come straight to your phone, and then we can rock and roll and stuff from there. Okay, now how we go about our weekly schedule. Okay, so right out of the gate, all right, our weekly academic schedule. Okay, Miss Sam Perkins, all right, in our academic success center does a tremendous job. All right, with our football players. All right, so you're excused from study hall. Okay, if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher. However, our freshmen, they have a mandatory 6 hours of study hall that they have to be able to get done weekly, all right, until revised by academic coordinator, okay? So on Sunday evening, we have mandatory study hall for our guys, okay? On Monday, all right, so we have a business Monday mentality, okay? So our kids know, right, we're not wearing slides on campus. We're not wearing pajama pants, okay? We're not walking around in tank tops, all right? Our kids know that right out of the gate, okay? We're going to attack the week the right way. So whatever your Sunday's best is as far as clothes-wise, you're going to put that on, right? And we're going to attack the day with enthusiasm the right way. Okay. There's people around here doing $1 million research projects and conducting business. So we're going to make sure we conduct business the right way and represent our cause in the proper manner. All right. So we attack it with Business Monday. Okay. On Tuesdays, you got mandatory study hall. Okay. You will also meet with your position coach one-on-one too as well. Okay. Wednesday, we have what we call unit study hall. Okay. So it may be just offense, it may be just defense, and I flip it bi-weekly. But I still want to make sure we get that cohesion. Even if you do have a 3.0 GPA or higher, or if you don't have mandatory study hall, you still will go at least get an hour within your football position group standpoint. Okay, so on Thursdays, you should have Monday mandatory study hall as well. All right, and then on Friday, you're off unless you have a reminder workout, and I will dial into that here just shortly. All right, so from a discipline standpoint, okay, we go about it from a 3-tier standpoint. So if you missed or late to class, tutoring, study hall, breakfast check, workouts, or meetings without acceptable communication, and we all should know what acceptable communication is, all right, prior, all right, you get a first offense. So that's you. All right, yourself personally got to be able to pick 3 items from the board. All right, and you'll handle that as you need to with your position coach. All right, second, all right, your second offense. Okay, you can't handle business and you got a second strike. All right, you and your position group, all right, will pick 6 items from the board to be able to do. Okay, and then lastly, your third strike, your third offense. Okay, you personally will watch the team pick 9 from the board. Okay. And a lot of times, all right, we haven't got to that point here. So I think we're cooking in the right direction and stuff here. But all right, you probably got a lot of guys that probably won't like you if we get to that point, right? So at the end of the day, why are we doing that, right? The we before me. Understand it's not about you. Continually handling your business, all right, the right way. Get out of yourself and into what the team is doing. Okay. Then you get the whys. All right. What are the whys, right? You get a chance to be able to graduate, right? Get a chance to be able to serve in the community, which our guys are already off to a great start, right? You're going to be involved in the community and stuff here. We do a lot of things and stuff in the community, and we'll continue to be able to enhance and do so, right? So you get a chance to be able to give back, right? And we continuously do that, right? And then you get a chance to be able to play, football in the best conference in the NAI, right? Get a chance to be able to win football games, right? So we're excited, all right, about the direction that we're going, and that's the whys behind it, right? And then lastly, what's important right now, right? It's protecting the brand of Missouri Valley College, right? We're not going to come in wearing some other college, right, on our chest or on our back, because why, right? We're here in Missouri Valley College, and we respect it and we love it, and that's how we're going to go about business on a daily basis with respecting our brand, okay? Nextly, we want to be able to become a family, all right? Everything we do, all right, we're trying to be able to find a way to be able to get to know somebody, trying to be able to build that cohesion, right? Again, getting out of yourself and into the team, all right? Become a family. And then having a 1-0 daily deposit mentality, all right? Accountable, dependable, and tough, all right? At the end of the day, right, I want you guys to be able to understand something, man. We're super excited to be able to, give you an overview of kind of who we are as a football program and what our culture entails, and hope to get a chance to be able to see you soon. But at the end of the day, just know Valley will roll.